This morning we're going to make coffee in a coffee siphon. The best cup of coffee you'll ever have, and probably one of the more simple ways of making coffee. Alright, this is a coffee siphon. First thing you do, take the top part out and put some water in the bottom. It's better if you start with boiling water. This way you don't have to spend so much time with the propane, or the butane rather, going making the water boil from room temperature. So I start with boiling water, turn on the flame. Next thing you do is you take the top part and you put in the reusable filter. So it's a cloth filter sitting on top of a metal frame, and it's connected by a wire and a spring, and you pull the spring tight. So now the filter is nice and tight against the bottom of this part here. Then you put in your coffee, which is a fine grind, like an espresso grind, not like a French press sort of grind, nice and fine. And then when the water starts to boil like it is, you turn it down because you don't want it boiling too fast. And then you put this in. I had it boiling a little too much, so put that in. Okay, there you go. And then make sure the flame is down, pretty much as low as it'll go. And instantly the water will start coming up. Same principle as in a percolator. Got this nice little wooden paddle, and give it a stir. Wait for a few seconds, literally, and it will, all the water will be up. Now, I say all the water, not all the water. There's a fascinating part of this design is that a little bit of water always stays in the bottom because there's a gap between the tube that comes down and the bottom of the round vessel. And the gap holds water in it, which is pretty good because if it didn't, this thing would burn. Alright, so keep the flame down low because what you want, the best temperature to brew coffee is a temperature just below boiling. You don't want a big, robust, aggressive boil up there. You want it just below boiling. So that's why I keep the temperature really low and let that go for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. While that's happening, I'll go now and heat my milk so I can have foamed milk with my coffee. Okay, I'm back with my heated milk, and I've got this little immersion blender whizzer thing that I got at actually at Bed Bath & Beyond, and they work pretty well when they work. However, if you do buy one of these, I highly recommend keeping the receipt. So anyway, stick that thing in there, get a little foaming action going. Keep an eye on the coffee. The coffee looks good. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. As soon as I'm finished foaming my milk, I gotta give that a little stir. So this usually only takes a little, I don't know, 20 seconds or something. Done. Okay, that's my milk. Let's give this a little stir. Now, I would say that's been going probably close to 2 minutes, just about. I gotta, there's a little bit of a boil up there. That's okay, as long as it's not too aggressive. Alright, so next thing you do is I turn off the heat, and then I remove the burner because the burner still will radiate a little bit of heat, and without that, the water or the coffee can come down quicker. Now what happens here is the coffee's coming through the filter. The filter's taking out all the oils and so forth and holding all the grinds behind. So what you end up, you can make a coffee pretty much as strong as you want, and you will always have a smooth cup of coffee. I've never had a coffee that was bitter using the coffee siphon. Alright, so now the coffee's coming down, And what you end up with is this beautiful little mound at the top. Sometimes it's perfectly symmetrical, sometimes it's a little weird. I never know why it's one way or another sometimes. And then at the end you get the little coffee drama. Now mind you, it's making coffee, so the drama's not that big a deal, but here it comes. Come on. We're getting there. There it goes. Get the bubbles. And it's done. Next step is take this top part off. Now you got to be careful here, only because if you take it out and quickly just put it aside, you're going to have a nice stream of coffee along your counter, because coffee will stay in here for a second or two. So that's done. Put that up over here. Now I pour my coffee. Now I like a little bit of sugar in mine, so there's sugar in that cup, so I'm going to stir that a bit. And then I'm going to add my milk and a little bit of foam. And voila! A coffee with a coffee siphon.